The rule was written in all caps at the top of the listing. Do not answer the phone after midnight. At first, I thought it was a joke, one of those quirky Airbnb hosts trying to be memorable. The cabin was cheap, remote, and exactly what I needed after everything that happened with Daniel. No neighbors, no signal, just trees and silence. When I got there, the place looked normal enough. Old wood floors, a dusty fireplace, a landline phone sitting on a small table in the hallway. I almost laughed. A landline in the middle of nowhere? Next to it, taped to the wall, was the same rule again. Do not answer the phone after midnight. I rolled my eyes and dropped my bag. People will do anything for a good review. The first night was quiet. Too quiet. No cars, no wind, not even insects. Just stillness. I checked my phone. No service, of course. By the time midnight came around, I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to fall asleep. That's when I heard it. The phone rang. It was loud, sharp, jarring. It echoed through the entire cabin. I sat up slowly, my heart already beating faster. 1 ring. 2. 3. I stared at the door. 4. 5. I remembered the rule, and for some reason it didn't feel funny anymore. 6. 7. The ringing stopped. Silence again. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Just a coincidence. I whispered to myself. I laid back down. Then, it rang again. This time, it didn't stop. I covered my ears, trying to ignore it, but it just kept going. Relentless. Demanding. Like it knew I was listening. I got out of bed. I don't know why. Maybe curiosity, maybe something else. The hallway was dark, lit only by faint moonlight through the window. The phone sat there, vibrating slightly with each ring. I stood in front of it. The rule echoed in my head. Do not answer. The ringing stopped, right as my hand hovered over it. I froze. Then slowly, I pulled my hand back. Nope. I whispered. Not doing that. I turned and went back to bed. The rest of the night passed in silence. The next morning, I almost convinced myself it didn't happen. Almost. I made coffee, trying to shake the feeling. That's when I noticed something new. A small note placed under the phone. It wasn't there before. I picked it up. You almost answered. I felt my stomach drop. What? I looked around the cabin. The door was still locked, window shut. No one could have come in. I backed away from the phone. This isn't funny, I said out loud, though my voice sounded weaker than I expected. There was no response. Just silence. I spent the entire day outside, trying to stay away from that thing, but night came again. And with it, midnight. I sat on the couch, staring directly at the phone, waiting. 11:59. My pulse quickened. 12 o'clock. It rang instantly. No delay. I could have been waiting. 1 ring. 2. 3. I clenched my fists. 4. 5. Then, it stopped. I frowned. That's it. I waited. Nothing. I stood up slowly, carefully, and stepped closer. The phone was still. Quiet. Harmless. I let out a nervous laugh. This is stupid, I muttered. I reached out, and it rang again. I jumped back, but this time, the sound was different. Lower. Distorted. Like something was wrong with the line. I stared at it. Frozen. Then, it stopped. And after a few seconds, the phone spoke, without being answered.
Why didn't you pick up? I felt my blood run cold. The voice was faint, glitching, but it was clear enough. I was calling you. I couldn't move. You missed your chance. My throat tightened. What chance? I whispered. The phone crackled. To hear the truth. Silence. Then, Daniel didn't leave you. My heart stopped. He ran. I shook my head. No, that's not. He ran from you. Stop, I said, backing away. He found out.